Let's hit the button. Button's hit. Says we're live. How's it going tonight, guys? All right. So we're going to get to the moment of truth tonight. She's either going to run or she's going to go boom, or we find out if I fucked up. Here we go. Monetizing YouTube right off the bat. Actually, I just realized something. I made a mistake. So we'll get her together and we'll see what we get, how we do. Fun and games. So this side, the only thing left to do is put the floorboard on, which we don't need to start it. Don't really care about that. We need the exhaust because that won't work with a shit. So I found my extension cord. So I'm going to throw the exhaust on this side so that is done and ready to go. The only thing left to do is the floorboard on this side. That's it. And then go to the other side and put it over there. The extension cord's there. So I'll take the camera over once we get to that point. So I think I might end up lifting this guy up. So anyhow, I hope you have your celebratory drink or you're crying your beer when the sucker blows up drink. One of the two. That's tonight's game. We'll figure it out as we go. Let's lift her up a little bit higher. That'll do. A little bit more. There we go. All right, there it is. Okay. So for this side, we need this exhaust pipe that we took off way back in, God, I don't even remember when. A while ago. A while ago is the number we're going to go with. So it's going to go in here. Get my exhaust stud nuts off of here. And then get ready to shove her on. Oh, lovely. Fighting with me already. That's either this is our problem for the night or the start and a sign of shit to come. Let's hope it's just the only thing we really have to deal with. That is that one, and those two. Let's bring the whole thing over. Let's bring the whole thing over. Put a few tools together. Start with that guy. Yeah, we got a few guys right in, popping in. So it's been an interesting week. Actually, as I kind of get going here, as I mention all the time, multiple times, tell guys to, join my community, networking, blah, blah, blah. Well, turns out, I found out this week, I didn't even know, but we got a new guy in the one networking group I'm a part of, who's actually from Calgary. Him and I have been chatting. We're going to make plans to get together, so that's awful nice. Have somebody who's an hour away that is like-minded, all that stuff. A couple other guys from Calgary have reached out as well, so that's an awesome bonus. So life is kind of good in that respect for those parts. That just makes life more fun. This bastard is, how does this go in here? I'm trying to remember how this went in here. Oh yeah, that went on this side. Completely different. See, on the drag bike, we do it on the outside of the frame. Makes for more room. That's why it's a lot easier to put on and take off. So I can put the exhaust on, take the exhaust off and put it on the drag bike literally in about 30 seconds. Because it is made to never be in the way. This, however, is not going to be that friendly. Huh. Okay. So, kind of jammed in here. Get the collar up over the studs. First ones are in. Not that one, that one. Do that. And there's no point putting Loctite on these guys because the amount of heat on the exhaust, it's just going to break the Loctite anyhow. It'll never, ever actually set. So these guys kind of just get tightened up and Of course, with the heat and expansion, you've always got to check these. They like to come loose. They're done a little differently than they are on a car. This is fighting me already. Fun and games. Gotta love it. Tonight's drinking game. We're on the final run here. Have a drink every time Bentley drops a nut or a bolt. So there's one down. Oh, there's the second one. So I'm behind by 2. So clearly we're going to get it running tonight, but not going to be going riding if I'm drinking. At least not very far anyhow. Well, I'm up floorboards on, so definitely not. Definitely not tonight. I did take a little dirt bike for a rip today, so I've got my first little bit of a ride in for the year. Why is this not going on there? There we go. Oh, we're in. Fun and games. Look, careful with that. Mark paint. All right, first one's on. Now it can at least fall off. Now I dropped a nut. Where does some of which go? Let it come down. But it didn't fall all the way, which is always great because now you got to try and find it. So now we got to play find the missing piece. Where did it go? But it doesn't belong. It doesn't wreck something in the process, because you never want to just leave it. That is not the sign of a good mechanic. Whether it's you doing it for yourself or you're doing it for somebody else, you don't leave the stuff, because that is the ultimate problem. Before you get moving around, just to make sure that doesn't slip and fall, I'm going to put this second one on the middle of the pipe here, just to make sure we don't they don't stress things and it doesn't wreck or twist or break. Or since we're using language already and fuck anything up we don't want fucked up. That's what we're going with. All right. Fight with me. Go ahead. Fight with me. Continue. There it goes. Now, get that bolt in there. Come on. Oh, this is always fun. So much room. The finishing stuff is always the pain in the ass. Always. The stuff that looks like it should take 10 minutes is always the hardest part, I find. I'd personally rather rip a motor apart, rebuild it, machine it, put it all back together. There's less frustrating stuff with that than there is with this finishing stuff all the time, in my opinion. That's just my way. What I find, anyhow. What I prefer to do. All right, so that one's in place. All right, we're held. Now, we're back to the missing bolt. Any of you guys happen to hear a missing nut? Do you guys happen to see where it went? Because I sure didn't. Not in rags below. Didn't come right through. Fun and games. All right, we'll go from the other side. Different perspective. Where did you go? You son of a bitch. Where did you go? Oh. Got something that came off its mount over here, so always good to give things a really good inspection over. Put it back into place. There it is. And that is why we carry the handy dandy magnet in the pocket, because then you can pick things up when you drop them in the most ignorant of places. So, okay, collar on, get this started. Come on. Don't do that. There we go. All right, so those two are started. Brake pedal kind of taps on that one. Always has. I've never liked that. This exhaust, it's actually got a mark on it and on the lever. I'm actually touching that. It's not great quality. Well done, Vance and Hines. Not really. Sarcasm at its finest. Which, in case you guys haven't noticed or didn't pick up on, I am a bit of a sarcastic prick. Sarcasm is my favorite humor. Finding the irony in things makes me laugh. That's my funny stuff. So, a little bit of tension on this guy. Starting to get up there. With these, since the exhaust on these is only held on in 2 points, when I get into that point, they're starting to go. The correct procedure, best thing to do is half a turn, then we'll go to the next one, half a turn, half a turn, half a turn. And that helps you bring it on square, because if you tighten one side, that collar will oblong and you'll never get a good seat and good seal on your exhaust flange and gasket in there. And that'll give you issues down the road. Frustrating stuff. Don't need it. Do it right. Okay. So to get in here and do these back 2 bolts that actually hold the muffler up on this exhaust, I gotta pop the saddlebag off. And I'll just set him down out of the way. And then remember when I did this, like I said, I put the bolts all back in at the places they belong so that I always knew where they were, where they fit. I wouldn't have to go hunting and looking. That organization now as we're actually getting down to stuff, putting something together that I took apart. When did I take this apart? Was it December? November, December, something like that. I pulled the motor out of this thing. I don't remember. You know, but how would I ever remember where these 2 itty bitty tiny little bolts were for each side? There'd be 4 in total. But everything is put back together, or put together loosely in the place it came off from, or put with the piece it came off from, so you always know where it is. That is how you take something apart and put it back together, keep shit organized, and do it nicely and properly. That's the proper way to do things. Torque spec, it's a 5/16 bolt. It's about that tight is roughly what it is. I used to know the torque spec off the top of my head. I don't remember it anymore, but I know the feel of it. So I'll do it by that. And now tighten this guy up in here. That's the wrong way. That's the right way. Yeehaw, fun and games. How's everybody doing tonight? Who we got? A bunch of guys. Steph the Frenchman, as always, Mr. Loyal. How's it going, buddy? Phil in the comments. Phil's a new guy. He's from Calgary. He's the guy that one of the guys I just started talking to. The networking community, so that's cool. I believe it's Calgary. Maybe it's Red Deer. Can't remember. Maybe it's Red Deer, actually. Yeah. No, Devin's Red Deer. Phil is Calgary. I was chatting with Devin earlier. He was actually on his way to pick up his bike. He's going to be driving by here probably right about now. Didn't think he would stop in. But yeah, so. All right. With that, we are now going to start fighting this bastard. Oh, I know what that is. I got to do this. that was why I have these over here, because this one's a real pain in the arse when it gets tight. So we go that one. And what did we use? We will use this extension and this ratchet, because this one has this goofy ass angle on it. And it's just a pain in the butt to get to. Now I remember taking this one apart, how much I hated it. Can't get onto it nicely. It hates me, or I hate it. One of the two, combination. We don't like each other. There we go. So that's starting to get snug. Starting to get snug. Okay, so now we're gonna do half turns. That's a quarter, that's a half. That's a half. That makes this slow, but let me tell you, if you don't like exhaust leaks, this is the right and only way to do this. I have had them before on these things, and it is a pain in the ass. You'll never get them to seal properly. So, even though this is a pain in the ass, this is way less work in the long run than redoing it later. So, do it right the first time. I'm gonna give that extra. Hold. Half. That's why I gave it a little extra. It's getting close. That one got a half. So this one needs a full half. Get on there. Quarter. Oh, it's not quite a full half. Let's give it that little bit extra. All right. Oh yeah, and the hockey playoffs are on. My Oilers are playing tonight, so hey, you guys want to do me a favor and keep me updated on the score in the comments? I'd appreciate that. I'm not going to get a chance to go watch that one. We're going to do this. And ironically, I know some people that are at the game tonight, so that would be cool. That'd be an amazing experience. That is roughly what I'm looking for. The tightness on these guys. All right. Rear exhaust is on, or well, front exhaust, sorry. Front exhaust is on this guy. Double check this. Good tight. Double check these. All right. Yeehaw. So, like I said, other than the floorboard, there is nothing left to go on this side. Well, actually, it doesn't touch. That's the shield that's just barely touching. It's actually got some clearance. Cool. We're good. Very little, but it's there. Doesn't matter. All right. That side's in. Exhaust that. Other side. So, yeehaw. Cheers to the boys. One step closer. Every time. One more bolt closer as we go. All right. This side, not going to be quite so easy. So let's actually turn and do that. Look. Since this is done and on, these wires out of the way. Get it open. Set Great spot. There, yep. There we go. One on. And that's it. That saddlebag is back on. All right. So we're off to the other side. So camera's going to get a little shaky here for a second. Do the old pass from one side to the other. Meet you over there. Do a little work. So look at the ceiling for a couple seconds because, you know, I'm the mechanic, I'm the cameraman, I'm the sound guy, and the whole freaking 9 yards. So that's just the way it goes. That is the way it happens around here. Come on. There we go. Wire up over the bars. Camera down here. Turn the computer. What kind? There we go. We're not muted, are we? I don't know if we've got audio. You guys will have to let me know. I accidentally unplugged it coming over. There we go. That camera's on. Audio. Microphone is on. Says it's good. Okay. Says we're back good. That's what happens when you unplug shit. Welcome to the world of live and moving cameras around from one side to the other while you're actually working on stuff and fixing crap. Ain't life grand and fun. Real world, guys. This is real world. Unedited, not fake. What's going on? No. Yeah, I must say, yeah. Something offensive about the Alphabet Brigade. The Alphabet Brigade can kiss my fucking ass. That's what I say about them. I really don't give two shits what they say, what they think. They're not my concern. So we're going to use a drink for every F word. We're going to get a few of those in here tonight. Because that is part of fixing stuff. All right. That's on. That's on. So I got to put the stator on. It's sitting on here, but I got to actually screw it down. I had to pick up the proper screws for that. And I borrowed the tool from my buddy Doug, who owns a motorcycle shop here in town, to remove this bearing. So I'll be popping this bearing race off of here. This is a two-piece bearing. So the race gets pressed onto the shaft, and like the inner race, the outer race and the roller and cage is all put together, and that is pressed into the primary cover and goes on as one unit. So this is a tool I had to borrow to do this job. So thank you very much for doing that. I made sure I borrowed it after hours to not screw up their business. And thank them for that. So if anybody happens to be in the area and you need a bike shop or something to do something, give me a call. I know, guys. It's Doug Cycle right here in Innisfail, Alberta, my tiny itty-bitty little town where I'm at. So, and I picked up a spare set so that if I ever have to take this sucker off again, I don't have to go find these bolts. Because these bolts are, I can't remember what the name of them off the top of the head is, what the actual type. But they're you actually torque them down past their stress point, so they stretch out, and that's what keeps everything tight. But since the bolts end up getting stretched to meet the torque specs and hold everything in place, these bolts are then compromised. They can never, ever be reused. So if you have a Harley and you're ever doing this stuff yourself, for yourself, the stator on a Harley is always these stretch torque bolts, and they can never be reused. Now, I have actually had to replace the stator out on the road in travels, put these back in an emergency, Loctite the hell out of them because they're not going to last. And I've used them to get from where I was to where I was going as an emergency point, but they should be used as an emergency only. After I got where I was going, I took everything back apart and I put these back. I replaced these bolts because these will not last. I already know that. I've actually fixed this for another guy who didn't know any better. He reused bolts and this sucker all came loose. Now, the way this works, in order to run the stator, which is the alternator, this is the alternator in a motorcycle, this slides over top, and this is full of magnets. That's why when I pulled it off before, remember I had the hooks in here to pull it off. And I'll do the same thing when I put it on, because you can't actually, like if I start to put this on, it's already starting to pull from here. You can't do that. Like, there we go, it just pulled the frickin' stator out with it. Wonderful example of how powerful this stuff is. This is going to be a pain in the ass. Wonderful. Live. Gotta love it. So I'm going to have to push this cord out and pull this out as one piece, separate it, put it back together. That's a demonstration. So what happens when you screw around with stuff you maybe shouldn't be screwing around with. Sometimes that includes me. So, fun and games. This is such a pain in the butt. Now I have a big pair of pliers. That sucker does not want to go. This is never fun. It has to be a tight fit for the oil to stay sealed in there, because this does end up, the primary case in here, it gets full of oil. It's oil bath system and has to be contacted. Shit. That wire's at tension. This is great. So what happens, you screw around. So I try to show you guys some stuff and screw myself in the process. Some days we have fun. Other days we wonder why we do shit to ourselves. This is a wonder why we do shit to ourselves moment. But I did it. We'll fix it. That's just the way it is. I have the tools. I have the technology. This is going to be a pain in the ass. Not going to go quite as easy as I was hoping. Now I have to actually move the oil cooler out of the way to get to this damn nut. To loosen this off, give me a little wire, a little slack in the wire to do this. And this is why you shouldn't horse around with shit when you're working on shit, like I just did. Nothing like making a job more difficult for no reason other than to, well, if anything, I taught you a lesson. Don't do what the guy on the internet. This is a prime lesson. Don't believe everything from some dude on the internet just because he's on the internet, because he may not know what he's talking about. Like I just did. It happens. Luckily, at least I can fix it. It's just a pain in the butt. All right. So with that, oil cooler's loose. Get it out of the way. Pass those hoses. This in there. And let's go and undo something we did last week. Because, I don't know, it's Wednesday night. I got nothing better to do than hang out with you guys and fart around. Actually, I enjoy this very much. This to me is fun. All right. There we go. Drop the nut. Have a drink. We might get drunk tonight. I keep making mistakes like this. Oh yeah, that one's captured underneath. I gotta go take that other side off too. Nothing like making yourself life more difficult for yourself. all for a demonstration lesson. And I clearly didn't plan this, or I would have not had these done up. I would not do that just for fun. There are things I will do just for fun. This is not one of the things I would do just for fun. Definitely not. Fun end games. Get her together. All right. That one's off. That out of the way. Back around. Wire's loose. This is my friend. Not Stefan the Frenchman that's here, but my other Stefan the Frenchman friend would say, because in French they don't use the word slack. He always used to say, give me the loose, give me the loose. Took a long time to figure out what the hell that Frenchman was talking about. What he meant was give me some slack. So sometimes when I get drinking, I get talking like my buddy Stefan the Frenchman. It's fun and silly. All right, that sucker's in there good. That's a powerful magnet. Create all that electricity. I might have to actually take this sucker right up. Might be easier. Cover back. Plug it. Wire out. Come on. Come to me. All right. So, like I said, that sucker is a magnet. Set that back in here. And it has some fairly powerful magnets in there because this is I think this is either a 50 or an 80, I don't remember. 50 or an 80 amp alternator, so it's got a fairly powerful magnet pull. But like I was saying on there, you never get it on part weight and let it go because the magnet will actually slam hard enough. It will sometimes knock the glue loose and then those magnets will come out. I've also seen guys do that and wreck stuff. And when the magnets come out, at that point in time, all of this, your clutch, your compensator sprocket, the whole 9 yards, primary cover is all back together. I actually saw one where the magnet got in there, tore the stator apart. It got spit out, shoved into the chain, wrapped around the chain, between the chain and the sprocket, and actually punched through the primary, destroyed all of this, ruined the clutch. He did thousands of dollars of damage on the guy's bike, all because he let go of that magnet. So like I kind of just did. So I'll be checking all of those to make sure that glue is all good and on, and every one of those magnets is nice and stuck before I put it on here, because I've seen what happens when that mistake is made, and I do not want to repeat it. All right, so that's in place. Fun and I'll have to screw all this stuff down again, because that's the way it goes. Yes, and this does need to be connected in order to start the bike, so I can't just leave this stuff loose like I would like to. I'll finish it up afterwards. This actually has to get done. Because this is the alternator output, it has to go into the regulator. Without this connection, things will not work well. Where are we at here? This is almost put together by Braille, which is no fun. All right. And it went. It's done. Okay. Clamp is on. On that side. Over. Down it goes. Make sure the wire is just, the clamp is under there, but the wire isn't pinched. All good. And this one's always a pain in the ass to get to. Because engineers design stuff to be built, not to be fixed. And this is why I use these wobble extensions like that. Normal extension, you put it on, it's solid, socket won't move. These wobble ones, you put it one step loose. And there's actually a bit of room for the socket to move. So you can get in there on your goofy little angles. So if you don't have tools and you're thinking about buying some stuff and you want to be able to do stuff, And you have the option of straight extensions versus these wobble extensions. I highly recommend these because they can just make life a lot easier and sometimes allow you to get a bolt you wouldn't normally get. They will help you enjoy life instead of hating it. And sometimes the right tool to do the job. There's a difference between getting a job done and enjoying your life and hating yourself because you're fighting with everything. Come on, there we go. What I need is a assistant. So what? Cute blonde, big-titted redhead, ornery brunette. What do you guys think? What would be the best assistant for doing stuff like this? Keep working on the bike. As projects as part of the channel. I won't tolerate any of them very long, so they'll probably all be revolving if I go that direction because I have a tendency to not keep them very long. It's just a fact. All right. Get back into place. Come on. All of that to show a lesson of don't do this with a stator like I just did. All right. That's in place. Which, yes, that means if you're wondering that or you're thinking that, you see that as a motorcycle guy, if you happen to be out on a trip or a vacation or ride on a bike and your stator, your alternator goes, it's in here. It's not like a car. It's not a 20-minute job to change it. It's a couple hours. It's a pain in the butt. Not easy to change on the road. If you have kind of the right stuff, you can do it, but it won't be a pleasant experience. That I can assure you. Very much assure you. It will be a very unhappy day. All that sort of stuff. All right, that's connected. So exhaust is connected. Exhaust sensor, I should say. That is our air fuel ratio O2 sensor. Exhaust on the front cylinder. Let's connect it up. So if you happen to have one of these big touring bikes and you ever do blow an alternator on the road and decide you want to be silly like me and change it yourself, I guess you don't necessarily have to have one of the big touring bikes, but if your bike has these crash bars like these, you can actually lay this bike over and it'll sit on these and it doesn't actually sit on the paint. That one picture I have on my thumbnail, that's what I've done. I've laid the bike over. I put a couple pieces of plywood under here just to protect it. I kept all the primary in here. It'll keep the oil from running out to make a real big mess. You can actually pull the cover. You can pull your compensator off. And I'll show that part. But if yours is factory, it's going to be impossible to do, depending on your year. You might have to pull the inner primary to actually change this. But I've modified mine and clearanced it and have some clearancing down in here that has some material in the way. So I can actually pull the rotor and I can actually change this stator without having to pull that whole inner primary system. So if you like to travel and tour a lot and you got one of these big bikes, you might want to consider doing that, because it could save you a lot of hassle down the road. I've actually helped guys out traveling through the area that had touring bikes, needed to do a stator, and the dealership couldn't do it. It was a weekend. They didn't have time to do all that because it's like a 4-hour job. But when it's all clearance and all done right, you can do it. I can actually clearance it and do it in about 3 hours. And once clearancing is done, it's less than 2 hours to actually do the job. Cut the job in half. So I've done that for guys. I just pull the compensator off. You can't get the rotor off because that material is in the way. clutches in here. I take and wrap all it up in a rag and plastic so nothing can get in there. And then I grind, sand, and clearance this out, nice, clean, and smooth. Use the blowgun, blow all the chips and all the dust and everything away as much as you get it all nice and clean. Take all this off, do it all, put it back together. When this is off again, clean everything up really well. And I've done it successfully. It's not the best way to do it, but it is a way to do it. So anyhow, I cannot remember the torque specs off the top of my head on these guys. And I rubbed the numbers off. No, I didn't. Is that the date? I think that might be the date. Because I've had to change this. I date everything when I change it. And that way, whenever I have a problem in the future, I know when it was bought, so I know if it's still under warranty, to go look for the receipt and get one. Air fuel. Electrical system is 11. Engine lower end, 5, that's lower end. So it is electrical system 11. Chapter 11, into book. And we go through. Headlight, no, we don't need to do that. We're not in that section. Yada, yada, yada. More stuff. Blah, blah, blah. Tail lights, dash, stereo, switch controls, heated grips, which I don't have. I've just bought a set, haven't installed them yet. I didn't think it was going to be as big a job as it was. They told me it's a 4.5-hour job. Like, seriously? Took me like, it's going to take me like 5 to 6 hours total to change the engine. It's going to 4.5 hours to put heated grips on. You need to rethink your design process. I think something's a little off there. All right, there it is. Here is the stator, rotor, compensator. That's the old compensator. I have the updated style. Here it is. Inspection, stator installation. Thoroughly clean the grommet. Yeah, we did that. Put it back through. Blah, blah, blah. Move the stator into position on the crankcase and install the 4 new screws. Tighten the stator screws to 55 to 75 inch-pounds. 55 to 75 inch-pounds is the number we're going for. Good God. Too small. I need brighter light. See that number? That's it. It's set. All right. So that's set properly. Need our, not that one. That one, that one. Where the hell is it? Too many tools. Said no man ever. It is not possible. All right. It's that. And that quarter drive, so I don't need the reducer. Take that off. Yeah. Shove those guys in. Turn it home. Yep. There we go. And these, by the way, we're going too far. They'll come from the factory with the correct locking stuff on them. So, like I say, if you ever have to, in an absolute emergency, only ever use these, you want to use the toughest red you can get your hands on. So you do not want these guys coming loose. The mess that makes is, it's not something you ever want to see, especially if it's your bike or a friend of yours bike. But either way, it's not something you want to see. It is a hell of a mess. So just use a little ratchet to run them up. As always, when you're tightening anything in a round pattern, you want to do a cross. So anything that's bigger, longer, like the primary here, it's going to have a bolt pattern. You just follow that in your manual. Do it the way that it says. It actually affects the way the gasket gets clamped down and the holding force. So that's why you always want to have a manual if possible to do things the right way. definitely has all the proper torque specs to tighten everything down to where you need it, so you know it's going to be done right, stay, blah, 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 all that fun stuff. All right. So there's that one. And there we go. So you can see the torque wrench clicking there. That means it's hit its torque spec. I always make sure, especially on a stretch bolt like this, I always do them 3 or 4 times just to make sure it's actually, because they will sometimes turn that last little bit, just a tiny little bit, which means it hasn't reached 100% full proper torque. And something that is in a place as ignorant as this is, that it's just a pain in the butt to change and tighten. It's not like an exhaust bolt that's on the outside. Worst case scenario, that comes loose, you just change it. I always make sure these are done extra well, because it's something you don't ever want to have to redo. Make sure it's all clean. Make sure none of these magnets can move, since I was flopping around and playing and demonstrating something I wasn't supposed to do. All the way around. They are good. They're all still good, glued and tight. So there's that. Now, this hook, and well, I had another one here. I'm sure I had 2. I took this apart. I must have had 2. Must have used it somewhere else along the way. Don't remember. Not there, not there. All right. Okay. So what I do is I put them on there. I got my hook in here. And then I start to slide it on with the hook where I can control so it doesn't slam in and smack and loosen those magnets. So there we go. It's in nice and tight. So now that'll spin around that electromagnetic field, blah, blah, blah. And that's how you produce power. Comes out this cord up through the voltage regulator. From here goes through, charges the battery, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. That's all done. That is the alternator and the stator portion. We need that. So next thing to do, I have to change this race so that I can do that for this bearing. Yeah, that's it. And the primary goes on. That is the next trick. So we use this fancy dancy tool from Mr. Doug. Thank you again, Doug, very much. Put it in here. Now, these races, especially with the amount of miles I have on this bike, can sometimes lock themselves on here pretty damn good. So, and you'll actually break the tool. So I'm actually just going to, since I'm aware of this, I know this problem, I've seen people do it. I am going to put some tension on it, try giving it a whack with a hammer, seeing if that will pop it loose. That is as much force as I'm putting. And we take a hammer, because now there's tension on the whole thing, and give it a whack. And we see, did we actually loosen that guy up? Not really. All right. So now we have a drink of whiskey. We'll perform a science experiment. Remember this one from school? Hot things expand. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to heat the race up, try and make it expand a little bit on that shaft so it loosens up with the pressure of the puller on it. Rocking it around here to make sure this race gets heat all the way around so it's nice and evenly heated. because we're heating the race first and the shaft is on the inside, the race will actually heat before the shaft does. So it'll actually start to expand before the shaft does. And with any luck, this amount of heat, there's tension on here, this thing will just pop free. Because if not, then we have to go to the hard case scenario, which is getting out a grinder and a cutoff wheel and actually cutting this race and trying to compromise it that way and make it pop. That is never fun. And then there's always risk of hurting the surface, because this actually creates a seal and keeps the oil in here. There's a seal that goes around the outside on the spinning part, but this actually seals to the shaft and seals the oil out. So, or seals the oil in, I should say. So we don't want to take a chance of marring that shaft, because then this thing will always leak oil, which on the belt drive is never something you want, because oil collects dirt and dust in the belt. Wears the belt, causes problems. This is stuff I do not want to deal with. So we're going to do the best we can to make sure we do this the easy way, easy-ish, I should say. Whack. What did we do? Yep, tension's off. Sometimes that's all it takes, just a little bit of heat, and everything changes, and away it goes, and we don't break a tool. Especially a tool we don't own, we've borrowed. So, little science experiment trick for you guys there. There's a good way to solve this sort of stuff. Just like that. Keep pulling it around. Come on. Come on. And just like that. And that's hot. So, since we know it's hot, we're not going to play the hot potato game. So, no drinky for Bentley burning his fingers. He's going to take that off the right way. Bitch, put it down on the saw over there. And the shaft is barely warm. Take a look at that. I should say the shaft is warm. Not barely warm, it's warm. Doesn't look bad. Doesn't look bad at all. Now we got it off. Give it a light little cleanup with some emery cloth here. Because of course it is two different metal surfaces, so this will always have a little bit of corrosion and a little bit of ugly. And when we're going to push a new one on, we don't want stuff in there that's going to compromise that seal. Compromise the seal, not go on easy. Make it thicker so that the bearing race is on tighter. All that crap, we don't want that. So we want a nice clean surface to marry the two parts up together. And just like that. Just like that. Sucker just a little bit hot. So I put more heat on it than I needed, but it worked. Doesn't matter. All right. So since I put some heat on it and that thing is actually still hot to touch, that means that this shaft will be expanded some. So I'm not going to actually try. This I know needs to go on anyhow. I'll just put that in there in place. I'm not going to actually try to shove the new race on at the moment. I'm going to let that cool down a little bit so that it fits. That is outer roller bearing. And there is our new bearing frame here. That's the fuller tool. This is the installer tool. So we'll take and loosen that. Make sure I have the right adapter here. This is backwards thread. Remember when we took the clutch off, it was left-hand thread instead of right. So we're actually going to go counterclockwise to make sure that tightens on right. So that is the right one, because there are two different pieces. I want to make sure There's only one for the actual shaft. I want to make sure it's the right one. Want to make sure that's correct before I start. So that's all good. So we know that's going to work when we get to that point. Okay. Now, the fun part. I don't know if I can do this. I might have to walk away on it for a second. So, set this down over here. Protect it. So this is our inner primary. And the old one's hot, so I'm not going to go grab it. But this is the inner piece of that two-piece bearing. So as like I said, the outer race, the roller, and the cage is all together here, pressed in. And then this bearing that's in here, this is the new race. This actually slides over that, and so that becomes your inner race. On that, so you're not wearing out your shaft, and the bearing is properly supported. And all that. I have a new bearing. Because I'm going this far on the job, I figured I would do all this, replace this. So I might run to the other side of the shop to press this bearing out. With my press, but my wire for my camera is most definitely not long enough to go over there. So I'm going to kind of leave you for a minute while I do that. Wait a second. I have no seal in here. I'm going to push the bearing out. I need to put a seal in because the seal is in there with that bearing. Don't tell me I forgot to get something. Man, pretty good reports. Up there it is. Okay, good. Woohoo, we're not dead in the water. That. Yes, that is the correct seal. All right. That is our gasket for that part. Okay. So, who we got here? A blonde, JR says. Where's the tool girl? I agree 100%. I'd love to. I would like to do a tool girl, but which ones? They don't get jealous of each other, I guess is the question. So we got Paul here from the other side of the freaking world. Drink for every hour. Sounds like a blackout. Thanks, buddy. When I work on stuff, I get a little nasty, the language. Let me do this. I shouldn't be doing this with greasy hands, but we're doing it anyhow, regardless. I am here we go. All right. So I just dropped the join link in the chat. If a couple of you guys want to quickly pop on here and kind of literally shoot the shit with each other, because I got to run the other side of the shop and the camera won't go over there. A truck is in the way. You're not going to see anything. I want to push this bearing out. I should have done this earlier. This is the mental block. I wasn't thinking of it. But a couple of you guys, otherwise, you know, we're sitting here with dead air for a little while, which makes no bloody sense. I don't want to waste your time. So if a couple of you guys want to come on, Stefan, Frenchman, you're always here. Jake, a couple of you guys, come on in and literally just shoot the shit, tell jokes, make fun, whatever. I really don't care. Just so that I'm not leaving nothing but dead air while I'm on the other side. I should have done that while I was starting to pull all this off. Give you guys a minute to join, but I've dropped the join link in the chat. So if somebody or a couple guys want to come in and BS or blah, 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 be the entertaining guy for a minute. So I know I've got a guy who's sitting in a cigar bar having a drink and a cigar. And cheers. I wish I was with you. Get this thing going, and then maybe I should ride down this summer and come and join you for one. Talk about the tool girl, all that kind of stuff. Do we have any girls? Let's get a tool girl on. I see in the comments, Kevin, you're here. You're a good talker. You have no problem filling air. Quickly join in, man. Just sit here and I'll actually be able to hear you on the other side and laugh at you, laugh with you, all that kind of stuff. We should double check. Because this is going to be a pain in the butt. This is going to be fun. Not to actually take this out of here. procedure. What are we looking at? I'm gonna have to support that so I don't break it. Grab some rags, clean up a little bit of mess. Because this one was starting to leak. I actually got a little bit of, not a lot, but a little bit of oil mess in here, a little bit of mess. So definitely time to change the seal. All the stuff in here. Makes sense after, I don't remember exactly what it is I'm at, 115, 120,000, somewhere in that neighborhood kilometers. So seals will start to go at that kind of time on this sort of stuff. Maybe not on your car, but the car's liquid cooled. This thing's air cooled. These have a tendency to get a lot hotter, do a lot more expanding, contracting, all that yummy fun stuff. That just causes more problems, but that's also part of the joy, which is why we like it. All right. That is that. Is that. All right. Hi, Abby. Hi, Abby. Puppy dog wants to go outside. Nobody's in yet. Come on, guys. Help me out here just a little bit. Just a little bit. Drop stuff on the ground. Make a mess. I really should have done this. I didn't even think of this. This was a definite oversight on my part. Definite oversight. Good to know for the future so I don't make this same mistake again. God forbid we're doing this again anytime soon. Then we want to do this on somebody else's. Maybe the new guy that I met says he doesn't think his bike is going to start. Luckily, I know a guy can help him with that. So just bring it on over. Let's get it going. And then we'll go riding. Because that's kind of the point and why we do what we do. What a mess. All right. Yeah. Yep. All right. None of this looks difficult. This needs to be done. None of it's difficult. Enough. That's that. Anybody in here? Oh, come on. Somebody's got to hop in and drop that. Text me your. Oh. Might have somebody dropping by. That'd be kind of cool. Here. One of the guys in the comments is asking. He's in the area. Let's do that. Never even thought of that. Should have done that maybe earlier. Oh well. Done. All right. When did he send that? About, well, it looks like about 17 minutes ago, 18 minutes ago. All right. So if he's still in the area, maybe he'll stop by. We'll have somebody live. Oh, check that out. Somebody's here. Who's that? Justice. Attaboy. How you doing, buddy?
What's going on, buddy?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can't hear squat. What's my settings? Where's my audio? Where's my speakers? MacBook Pro speakers.
Can you hear me now?
Playing the sound. What did I do? I got a feeling I know what I did.
What'd you do, Bentley? Come on.
Volume down, so I can't hear you, but I'm sure you can hear me. So, which one is it? There it is. Let's see if I press that button. How's that?
I can hear you.
I hear you now. Okay, cool.
Hey.
Do me a favor, fill a minute or two, and I'm going to go push a bearing out and push a bearing in and come back and put this back together. Entertain the boys.
Fill a minute or two, huh?
Fill a minute or two.
What's going on, guys?
I don't know if I can make you a host where you could bring other people in if they come. Can you see the green room to add people?
Not right now.
Okay. Okay.
I should be able to, though. If you
Stefan.
set the settings right.
All right. Stefan says he identifies as a French bulldog, so he can't do it. That sounds like a pronoun problem, and that's your problem, not fucking mine.
Nice. How am I supposed to entertain the guys? What are we talking about?
Talk about something. I don't know. What are you working on? I know you work on stuff all the time.
Oh, I was working on digging holes all day today. Digging trenches, ripping out phone lines, ripping up water lines, all sorts of roots and shit. Good times.
Cool. Get the guys to send comments and stuff. Just shoot the breeze or something. I don't know.
I can't see the comments now. Now that I'm in the room, I can't see the comments.
Oh, is that how that works?
Yeah, apparently.
Oh, well, that blows goats. Okay.
Right?
I didn't know that.
Oh, that's all good.
What I should have done was made you a host in the first place, and you just host the whole damn thing.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Jeez, what are you slacking for?
I'm slacking. What can I say?
Does anybody think Bentley's ever gonna get this damn bike running? I thought you were gonna fire this thing up like a week ago.
That's a loaded question.
What the heck, man?
It snowed today, so it's not that much of a panic.
Oh, geez. Excuses. All the excuses.
Well, I do need to get it going because a couple of guys are coming to visit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So I definitely got to get it going.
Right? I need to get on my Cobra again, too. I've been slacking, too. You're not the only one.
Okay, you got to tell guys about this thing because this thing is just cool as shit. I know I like it.
What's that, the Cobra?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, it's a kit car, but it'll be a lot of fun to run around in.
Absolutely.
I don't think I'd want a real one. I'd be afraid to drive the damn thing, you know?
Well, that's kind of catch-22, isn't it?
Driving $1 million car around my parts,
Yeah.
the roads would be a little hard on it.
Yeah.
But,
Well, I guess the other side is if you own $1 million car, you can afford it.
well, I mean, there's that too, you know, so.
That's not a problem I currently have.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that'd be a problem I'd like to face, but not one I'm facing today.
Yes. That's
Certainly.
what I love to face.
Right?
Yeah. So we've actually had guys on that can face the problem. Remember our mystery guest, we were talking about lifestyle and stuff. I know for a fact that guy can afford $1 million cars. Because like I said, I knew who he was, he wanted to protect his identity, and I was all for that. But yeah. So that's a cool place to be.
Right. So Bentley, when's the goal for getting this bike running? To fire
Tonight.
it up?
Tonight or tomorrow, one of the two.
All right. Very nice.
I'm banging around the press here. I don't have a hydraulic one.
You don't have a hydraulic one? What the heck? What kind of shop are you running, man?
I'm a poor truck driver. What can I say?
You're a poor truck driver with a damn near full machine shop at his house.
Well, full
Mill and a lathe, anyway.
anyway, it's full-ish.
Right?
Yeah. We can build some stuff, just not everything.
Heck yeah.
Ugh.
You can never have enough tools, man.
There's no such thing.
No. Jeez. That's not something, that's banging.
Hello. Hey, how's it going? Well, we don't have a choice. We've got to figure this out. Actually, Shit. Big shit. Big oh shit.
Get the torch out, Bentley.
No, we might be beyond torch. You're not gonna get back that way. Just so you know.
No, you get the torch out. It can't be stuck if it's liquid.
I gotta come show you. This falls into the I just fucked up category.
Oh, imagine that, using a sledgehammer to work on your Harley and you fuck something up.
All right. So I didn't realize that. I was supposed to take the seal out first. Guess I should have read the manual. That'll learn me. Doesn't look like I wrecked the primary. But I don't know if you can see it or not. Can you see that? There's actually I don't know if you can see it or not. Where's the camera? There's a snap ring. Holds that in there. I just pushed the ring out, the roller and the cage and all the center without the outer race.
If you don't take the snap ring out, that won't come out.
Really?
I mean, it will, I guess, if you push hard enough.
Thanks for the tip, buddy.
It's just going to take a little extra with it.
Yeah. Come on. Oh, God. I hope I didn't fuck that up badly.
Can you just tap it back in a little bit to get that snap ring out?
I don't know.
Might have to.
It's compressing.
Good thing you don't have that 50-ton press.
Yeah, no shit. Wow.
Need something good in there. Got a knife around here?
A knife? No, we're beyond knife on this one. We've gone too far.
Bentley, are you going to introduce your helper?
So actually, yeah.
I'm Devin.
Devin.
We're literally just meeting right now.
Yeah, we're literally just meeting right now. So Devin is in one of the networking groups, and it turns out he's in Red Deer, so he's like 20 miles away.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, and he actually went and picked up his bike today. So this is the guy I was talking about that, like I said, says he doesn't think his bike will start. I said, well, just so happens I know a guy can fix that. As he's sitting there fixing something he just fucked up.
I was watching him.
Cool. Well, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thanks for having me over.
Hey, man, no problem. So what'd you get? Tell the guys.
I got a 1992 1200 Sportster Harley Davidson. So this is an antique, but I guess the price is going to be going up. I
Cool.
was talking to a mechanic earlier.
Who are you talking to?
The guy at Harley Davidson in Red Deer.
Yep.
He's like, yeah, that'd be a good investment.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't have my bike license or anything, but I wanted a bike, and it was a steal of a deal for my best friend. So
There you go. Well, just so happens I know somebody who can help teach you how to ride the damn things.
yeah.
I think I've done it before. I think there might be a video or two of it. Right, we got snap ring out. One step closer. We got snap ring out.
Yay!
Hey,
So there's a topic for you.
what's
How
that?
stupid is that you have to have a freaking motorcycle endorsement or license to ride a motorcycle, but you can pull a 10,000 or 20,000 pound trailer with no special license?
You really want to talk about that with two truck drivers?
Well, yeah, sure, why not?
It's the dumbest thing ever.
What
The
country? are you in?
Mickey stand might not let you be on YouTube anymore, but
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, because reality hurts. He's in Idaho, actually.
Seriously.
Yeah, he's about 700 miles away from us, 750 miles away from us. So we're gonna get you your bike running, get you your bike license. We're gonna go down and see him,
Okay.
smoke some cigars, drink some whiskey, that sort of stuff,
Right.
because that's what guys
Sweet.
do. Yeah. All right.
Hey, that bearing will probably come out a lot better now.
The problem is I've destroyed the part I was pushing on.
Oh, jeez. Here we go.
Oh. So the colorful language is about to really start. Because
Bentley, hold that up.
yeah.
Hold that up to the camera. Let's see it.
Okay. So
Now, bear with me. My screen's like 1 inch by 1 inch. So
light for me if you don't mind. Go behind the camera over here. Get you behind me. All right. So the bearing is over there. So this now you can just barely see this tiny little piece here. This is what's left of the race.
oh, nice.
You can see the race is all broke, or that part that held the captured and held the rollers in is all chipped off, broken, and destroyed. I'm not entirely sure how. I'm not sure. The guy who was riding this thing was obviously abusing it. So, we're here fixing it now because some moron was wrecking this thing. So, us
Right.
good mechanics are about to fix this problem for this idiot. So we've just switched roles. So I got a tiny little bit there. I'm going to try.
Do you have a socket just the right size to fit the hole?
I don't know. I don't know if I have one exactly the right size. So I'm going to have to go play around a little bit. So why don't you and Devin have a chat for a minute? I'm going to go see what I can find. See what else I can grab. Because
So Devin, tell us how you feel about that whole motorcycle endorsement thing.
I wasn't quite in on the conversation. What happened?
What's that?
What happened? I wasn't 100%. I didn't hear the conversation.
Oh, just the fact that you have to have a motorcycle endorsement, but you can jump in your 40-foot long or 50-foot long motorhome coach and drive it across the world.
I thought you were talking about semi-truck driving. Like, it's actually hard to get your class 1, but yeah. I was long hauling for a company here in Alberta. I go down to BC, and I'd be in southern BC, and I'd be hauling an 82-foot B train, and you'd have RV trailers just cut in front of you that were less than 500 meters away.
Right.
Reloaded. They should have some kind of course you need to take.
Yeah, which one do you think you're more likely to hurt somebody with, a truck and trailer or a motorcycle?
Oh, yeah.
Somebody other than yourself.
Well, I'll tell you this, learning trucking, you really realize how many people actually are paying attention to you when you're bigger than them, and how many people just choose to ignore you when you're smaller.
most
Yeah.
ignore you.
If I go into the oncoming lane by accident in a semi-truck, everybody pulls over. You do that in a smaller vehicle, everybody just drives like nothing's going on.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, people are jerks. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Mhm.
I love it.
You run into a lot of those problems down, you said you're Utah? Or-
Idaho.
Okay. You ran that blast that happened?
The what?
That blast, that derailment.
Well, apparently not. I don't know anything about it.
That's not in Idaho? Do you know what I'm talking about, Bentley?
No, I don't. I don't have a clue.
The derailment with the
How long ago was that?
train. It was like last month.
Oh no, I don't. But I know, like, just
Just out here.
excavating company. So he's got. What do you got? A 350 or 450 year pickup? 3,500. Can't remember.
So 450.
He got a 450 and his trailer, but he has to have a CDL even with that.
Really?
But it's amazing how many people don't do that. And yeah, it's crazy when you think about how little qualifications it takes to drive something that is that big.
Yeah.
They don't know what they're doing. Clearly, they don't know what they're doing.
I think it's something economical too. Like, everybody had to do it. They probably wouldn't have to do RVs and stuff.
Right.
I think it's also the reason why they don't correct too much of people that are clearly the problem in truck driving, because it's an issue of trying to find those people to fill the seats, right? And it brings in revenue being able to write tickets. That's one theory I heard, but I don't know how accurate it is.
that is a very good theory.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, we aren't getting this thing running tonight because I just broke the other side off the race. It's not going to press out by hitting it with a chisel. So I don't know what I'm going to do, to be completely honest.
Show the camera.
So I started tapping it and it broke that out. So, and I can feel it. It hasn't.
I told you should have warmed that thing up.
Actually, it has loosened up a little bit. I'm wrong. I can get a fingernail underneath it there. I can get a fingernail underneath there.
You need to find the right size socket.
I don't have one the exact size of that.
You need to go.
Well, wait a second. I have another set I forgot about. Let me double check that one. Go ahead and check out Justice now. I'll figure out a way to fix this.
So you said you ride bikes?
No, I don't ride bikes.
No? You know mechanics, so
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
how do you
Yeah, I
learn?
do a lot of mechanicking.
Yeah?
I have a 72 Bronco I'm building and 65 Shelby Cobra replica that I'm building. So,
How do you
That's
like
my
the
replacement for 2 wheels.
Okay. How do you like the new Broncos?
I don't.
Yeah. Yeah, I really wanted the old Broncos. I grew up in BC. My mom's boyfriend had a Bronco, like an old 70s one. And we
Nice.
go cruising in the back 40, and it was nice. I always wanted a Bronco. And
Yeah.
I was like, they're going to redo it, and they're going to become overpriced. Like even Chevy Blazers, they're selling one down in this part of the world I'm in. I think they wanted like 40 or 50 grand for an old like 70s Blazer.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just these city slickers. They say, "Oh, this looks like something that'll make me look cool," and it jacks up the price for the people that actually are hobbyists and that kind of thing. It's unfortunate.
That's
No, I
good.
think the new Bronco is the biggest failure that Ford's had in a long time.
The new Broncos?
Yeah, I hate them.
Yeah. You know, my this guy, he had the old one, like the back would come off and it had like the roller bars in the
Yep.
back. Oh, it was awesome.
Nice.
You have to find something new.
Ooh, I got a socket.
Oh, about time you found that.
Doesn't mean I found a solution yet. We're about to find out.
Can you see this? I've come down more. I'm pretty tall, so.
Well, I got a camera angle down at the.
Yeah, I don't want to mess it up.
That's fine.
Well, it doesn't help. Bentley's only like 4 feet tall, so.
We're not all fridges. We can't all be fridges.
I'll adjust his camera so much.
Oh, great.
Hey, just throw that anywhere, Bentley. It's all good.
Okay, so that's another drink because Bentley just dropped something. But that's actually a double because Bentley just dropped it in the oil pail.
Oh, no, really? Oh, your hands are already pretty oily.
No, I'd love to tell you I'm kidding. I'm dead serious. I just dropped it in the oil pail.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm
Got a magnet?
100% not kidding.
That's awesome.
Awesome for entertainment, not so awesome for me.
That's quite a nice beard you got.
Thank you.
Yeah. I tried growing out. I'm redhead too. I'm bald though, so I got a facial hair out, so I look like a cancer patient.
Right? That's funny.
Yeah, but mine grows in like kind of scraggly. I can't grow a burly beard like that.
I guess I should move that so I don't repeat that mistake, right? Would that be the smart thing to do?
Yeah, probably. So you're a utility worker, you're saying?
Oh, I do a bunch of different things, but yeah, I do some digging.
Okay.
Put a little excavator and digging some utility trenches this week. So
Bentley is saying you're into smoking cigars?
Oh, yeah.
well, I can't say into, but
Yeah.
occasionally.
Oh, okay. You're like me. I smoke them every now and then.
Yeah.
I went down to South America in Peru. I bought a case of cigars. I thought it was awesome. And I brought them to my buddy's dad. And we started smoking them. He was like, I'm sorry, but this is shit. Like, they're not good.
Nice. So, are they placing bets in the comments whether Bentley's going to get that out of there successfully or not?
What am I doing now?
Stefan, straighten him out. That's Ohio, not okay. The derailment I was talking about was in Ohio, not in Idaho. Damn Canadians. Stefan, I've tried so many times. JR.
This is not going according to plan, guys.
Do you need a hand over there?
He needs a damn mechanic is what he needs.
I might have to put the tools away and call an actual mechanic because I might not be qualified to do this. What it's appearing to be, I hate to admit, considering the always been able to solve the freaking problem. I've solved a lot of problems over the years on the road. That sounds pretty solid. What did I just hit?
Telling you, Bentley, get it hot. I keep telling you.
What's that?
Put some heat to it.
It's aluminum though. I hate to put too much damn heat to it.
Well, you don't have to put that much heat to it. Doesn't take that much to loosen it up just a little bit.
Yeah.
All you got to do is just a little bit to get that aluminum to expand on the around it.
Yeah.
That race will come right out of there.
Might end up having to do just that, as much as I don't want to. Right.
I've only been telling you to do that for 20 minutes.
Have you? Is that all?
Yeah, I mean, no biggie.
Has it been that long? Are you serious? Am I that slow at this?
Yeah, you're moving pretty slow there, buddy. How much have you drank already tonight?
What's that?
How much have you already had to drink tonight?
Well, my drink is only 5 ounces and I haven't finished it. So, not a lot.
Maybe you need to drink more. Maybe that's the problem.
You need to drink more? That might be the problem. Or it might be the solution.
JRR, if we had 2 girls, it'd be done already. Listen to Justice.
All right, fine. I'll listen to Justice and I'll throw a little heat at it. As much as I'm scared to throw heat at it. And I really am scared to throw heat at it. Thanks, dude.
Like I said, you don't have to put a lot of heat to it, just a bit. Just don't put any heat on that race at all. Keep it out away from it. Can he hear me over that door?
I can't hear anything over the torch.
Tell him not to get that race hot.
Don't get that race off.
Get the race off?
Don't get the race.
Do not get it hot.
Do not get it hot.
Don't get it hot. Oh, thanks for the advice. Appreciate that. It's out. Thanks, Justice. It's out.
Actually worked, eh?
It worked. Did I drop more stuff on the ground? I do have one other minor problem, but it's a minor problem. I think I can fix it quickly.
It's more than one minor problem, but
One problem at a time. That's all we're doing. One at a time.
This
we're going to be here all night then. Damn.
Hey now.
Does this camera have to be plugged into this USB because I can follow you around?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to carry the computer around too.
Yeah.
All right. Yeehaw.
I was kind of nervous coming over here that I was going to be on YouTube, but new thing for everything, I guess.
You weren't planning to come to YouTube? Welcome to my shop.
Yeah.
Welcome to my world.
Hey, it's okay. There's only like 6 people watching anyway, so it's all good.
It's not like I got a huge following on his channel. I'm just a guy.
Yeah.
I'm just a
How many
dude.
people are watching right now?
8 right now.
Oh, shit. I'm out of here. It's too many.
I screwed up on a bigger night, of course. Because I said, all right, I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna go behind you. Okay.
Did you get that back in, Bentley?
What's that?
Did you get it back in?
I got it out one step at a time.
Oh, jeez.
One step at a time. Hey, I got it out without breaking the primary, so we're moving in the right direction.
It's about damn time.
See, my 82 doesn't have a snap ring. It holds that in, so I didn't even think. That's what happens when, just like a man, doesn't read the fucking manual, right? Doesn't read the instructions. What are instructions?
Oh, Bentley, what the problem is you're too poor.
Well, there's that too.
You're too poor to pay attention.
Uh-huh. I knew that was coming. Smart ass. All right. We got a new bearing and a new seal. There's our bearing.
We can't see it, Bentley.
You can't.
You're too far away.
Okay. Doesn't matter. That's going to get pressed. That has to be pressed.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, it should be pressed.
Go throw that bearing in the freezer for an hour.
What are we going to do for an hour? Drink?
Well, I don't know. You're going to have to entertain them more, though, because I'm not nearly as entertaining as you.
I'm going to lose. I'm definitely going to lose my people if I just sit here and shoot the shit for an hour. I'm a little aware of that. All right. I'm going to run back over and press that in. I'll be back in. This will take fuck all.
I need to get my dog in the case.
You got your dog?
Yeah. Is this dog good with dogs?
Abby's friendly as shit.
Okay. I got a French bulldog. She's kind of an ass sometimes. So.
Well, they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Bentley, you can heat that up again
I know I can.
to get that back in. I would.
I just might do that.
That's what I was going to say. If you throw that race in the freezer for a little bit and then you heat that up real good,
Yeah. I should have thought of that earlier.
you could have.
I should have, but unfortunately I didn't.
But you didn't call me and ask me
I did.
earlier.
You're correct. I did not.
That would have been smart.
But like I said, I hate like hell heating aluminum. It bugs the shit out of me.
What's the problem with heating aluminum?
Melt it, warp it, distort it.
Oh, okay.
Heating aluminum is not.
So you think beating on it with a sledgehammer is better?
Okay. Okay, fair point. Fair point. You got me there. I can't argue that. Yeah, okay. I got nothing for that one. I literally got nothing for that one. I just don't want any aluminum.
Bentley, you ought to clean that shit up on top of that toolbox. It looks like hell.
Ah,
Go back to the bike.
Right? Seriously, hide that shit.
what? Yeah.
Yeah.
That shit's for another motor. One that might have come out of this bike that might have had some problems. Might be where that come from. Not sure. Some of it's from another bike. All right.
Did you get your bag fixed?
My what fixed?
Your bag. Wasn't your bag broke from when you wrecked it?
Nope.
I thought something was broke on it.
I had a lower fairing that was broken. Yeah, I got that fixed quite a while ago. That's all done, sitting over here, ready to be installed.
Nice.
Yeah. I'll do that once this is actually done, running, all that sort of stuff, because it's, if anything needs to be adjusted or taken off, that's in the way, and I don't want to scratch the paint on it.
Right.
I'll do
That
it
makes
there.
sense.
How are we doing? How are we doing? Can you see? Can you tell me?
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I'm tapping away here.
Sounds like you're doing a bang up job.
A bang ass job? Yep, I'm doing a bang ass job. Something like that.
Oh, there's Kevin Lewis here.
He's in the room.
Yeah, he's on the video
Can you
too.
throw him in?
How do I do that?
You click the button that lets him in.
Yeah, I'm looking for a button that says let him in.
Yeah, hit a button that says let him in.
Add to stream. There we go.
There you go.
Hey, Kevin.
What's up, man?
What's going on, Kevin?
No, just
Woohoo!
having
Did
to
you come in to
try.
do some armchair mechanicking too?
So what are we fixing tonight? Well, because I know what I'm wrecking. I want to know what you guys are fixing. I had a pair of snap ring pliers and I had a snap ring.
I'm sorry for the terrible lighting. All my lights in my fucking room out tonight.
Here's a snap ring pliers.
Right, you creepy bastard, Kevin. What are you doing hiding in the dark like that?
Yeah. How'd you call last night, Kevin?
All the lights in my fan that I usually norm. Here, I can brighten this up a little bit. Is that a little bit better?
Yeah, you look a little less glowy.
Yeah. Well, I don't have my glasses, so there's no glare. But I think Bentley should have done the full engine swap.
I did do a full engine swap.
I was going to say, you did do a full engine swap. I was pretty sure.
Yeah.
I know I did a full engine swap.
What Bentley probably should have done was hire somebody who knows what the hell he's doing.
Hey! Hey, I resemble that remark.
That's part of the fun. That's part of the fun.
All right. A little bit more on that side. Just like that.
You have my audio, or
What's that? Done.
what's going on, guys?
From broken bearing,
Not much, Justin. How you doing, buddy?
busted out,
I'm
all
good,
that.
man.
It's installed. Check it out. We got a new bearing. We got a new seal.
That's why I wanted to join.
Yay!
When you said
Woohoo.
you should have heated it up before you pulled it, I was thinking the same thing. And I'm not even a fucking mechanic. What does that say?
Are you telling me the rookies tell me I fucked up? Is that what you guys are saying? Is that what's going on?
No, we're just trying to figure out what the hell you're doing over there. We thought you were a better mechanic than this.
Well, I'm making do when I don't actually have the correct fucking tools, is what I'm doing. To be completely honest.
Well, I thought you were going to do a complete engine swap.
I did. It's already been changed.
Well, then why are you banging on the old parts that you're going to put back on, Bentley? Come on, man.
Because this is how you put it back together.
Oh, well, hey, you got me there because I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm
In
just,
order to-
like Justice says, I'm armchair mechanicing here.
In order to change, in order to pull the motor out, you got to pull the whole primary and clutch system that attaches the motor to the transmission because they're together. So that had to come off. That's what I'm in the middle of putting back together right now. That has to go on. in order-
Maybe if you don't break that case in the meantime.
I hope I don't. I really hope I don't. That seal is seated.
You probably need a bigger hammer, Bentley.
That seal is seated. I do not need a bigger hammer. I have a bigger hammer. I have several bigger hammers. We aren't going there.
Paul's saying hitting the things with the hammer.
Well, is that hence the
Absolutely, 100%, Paul. Paul's got her. Hitting things with a hammer is how you fix things. That's how I fix
That's what she
shit.
said.
That's why they call me the hammer.
I have a funny feeling that Paul's better with a hammer than you are, Bentley.
I concede that one.
I've seen some of the things he makes, and I'm pretty sure he's better with a hammer than us.
So have I, and I agree 100%.
Yeah, I told Paul he needs to have his own fucking Discovery show. If that douchebag Richard Rawlings could make 300,000 an episode in his heyday by just paying for cars to be rehabbed, Paul welding copper. Yeah, that's that's a
Right.
$300 million idea, I think.
Who is that you're talking about?
We got a guy in our group, Paul. He rebuilds Explorer's airplanes.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
He builds the coolest shit of anybody in this room on this all day long.
Yeah, I know. When we have our meetings, he talks about how he's welding copper tanks together. He said, "I tried this, tried that, and I've learned how to do it." I'm like, "You're actually the only person on planet Earth that knows how to do that. So, why don't you have a multi-million-dollar business teaching other people how to do it?"
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know you could weld brass.
Yeah, I thought you had to braze it and basically, solder it together. But he was like, "No, I tried this and I tried that and tried this, and now I learned how to do it." So now every time we talk to him, he's like, "I'm building another tank." It's like, start your own fucking school. Teach other people how to do that all over the world.
All right. Clearly, I need a bigger socket than that. I need a deep socket.
Once again, that's what she said.
Hey, that is quite enough of that shit. Sometimes it is whether you hit the back of the well, it's how you beat the shit on the walls,
Yeah. I've never had that problem.
You see a cat. Sometimes you gotta get creative.
Hey, Bentley, if you're at an hour and 41 minutes live, if you pulled this on and went into the after show, you'd probably get more interaction.
Yeah, probably would. Probably should.
You get all the guys that want to swear on your channel come in and talk to you and tell you what a shitty job you're doing instead of just
sure. Why not? I need more abuse in my life. I mean, I was only married for fucking 10 years. Who doesn't need more abuse, right?
Exactly. See?
I got off easy. I got out after 10. So,
Yeah, I was gonna say you're 1 year less than me, so that's.
I need more abuse because for some reason I just do.
Oh yeah.
No, it's pretty awesome though that you're doing all the work yourself, man. I mean, most people can't do that. My dad's been riding for 40 years and he still doesn't do his own work, but you're doing it.
This is easy as shit. None of this that I'm doing is hard. Like literally anybody can do this.
Bentley's being humble. You can almost see that bike on the wall up there in the right-hand corner.
It's actually down on the floor right now, but yeah, it's going to go back up there early next week. They're coming over to do it. Yeah.
Nice.
So.
One thing I will bring up, part of the discussion, not the after show, is Phil. He's a new member of the 10%. He's been very active. He's looking to start riding. And when we were talking, I was like, "What do you want? Sport bike, cruiser?" He said cruiser. And I said, most people start out on a Rebel 250.
I'd go bigger.
Yeah, of course. But he's just starting out. I just want to give you guys, the opportunity to see if the advice I gave him was, correct or accurate. I said, a lot of people start on a Honda 250 for the first 2 years.
No.
Or year. But even Harley is making some 500 cc's, some 500 cc motors, because you don't want to go too big too fast, because the first year, at least the first year, your focus should be on learning how to ride safely and doing that. Would you guys agree that longtime riders? I'm sure there's some comments going off right now. But that's good advice, because I mean it's a dangerous hobby. It really is.
Okay.
So I'll disagree right out the gate, and I don't have much riding experience, but if you have too little bike, you can't get out of your own way.
That's right.
No, I can agree with that.
When you get in trouble, if somebody's running you down, you got to be able to get the hell out of your own way.
And at 250, you will outgrow, like a man will outgrow a 250 probably in a month. And all of a sudden, you'll have a bike that you can outride. So the problem is you'll start to get too aggressive because you can outride the bike. Yeah. And once you start to get too aggressive and you outride the bike, the problem is you'll override the bike and you'll start to do things that it's not capable of doing because you've outgrown it. And that is a very real, outgrowing a bike is a very real problem that I have witnessed on more than one occasion. So that's always something I caution people against. Now, I would not tell anybody who's a new rider to, go get a leader bike, go get 1,000 cc to keep up with their buddies, because That is one of the dumbest things you could ever do.
Yeah.
You will kill yourself doing that. That's the reason why I'm not allowed to ride sport bikes, because I have this problem. I have no fear. I have a complete lack of fear. And that makes me dangerous. So my friends all agree I'm never allowed to ride a sport bike.
No, I mean, that's great dialogue. You know, I hope Phil's still on the channel.
Yeah.
Because he was asking about that. Because I've known, to your point, Billy, being in the Army for so many years, I saw guys that all their friends rode Hayabusas. So that's the first bike they bought.
Way too
And,
much.
and then, 2.5 months later, I was at the memorial.
Yeah.
Because they got on a Hayabusa, hit I-95, thought it was cool to go 130, but then when they hit some turbulence, I mean, they had to have their family identify them. So that's why I say, focus on riding safely and learning how to ride safely your first year.
Yeah.
And then go up,
Well, and at speed, people don't understand that have never done it, what those kinds of speeds. So I came off a drag bike at 170 some miles an hour. I think we don't know exactly what it was, but it was in the 170 mile an hour range was where I came off. And the reason I came off the bike wasn't because I was out of control, because I was being an idiot or anything like that. I literally picked my hand off the handlebars to grab the brake rather than continuing to hold the handlebar with my thumb. My hand got far enough off the handlebars that the wind grabbed it, and that actually ripped me off the bike. So at those kinds of speeds, and that's the thing a lot of people don't know, at those kinds of speeds, it does not take very much wind to pull you off a bike. It really doesn't. And a 1000cc sport bike will easily reach speeds where there is enough turbulence speed to pull you off the bike physically. You do not have the strength to hold on. It's not possible. Like when I came off that thing, I literally, oh shit, went through my head when I was in the air. That's how quickly it happened. I didn't even have time to think, oh shit, by the time I was in the air. That's how fast it happens.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like I say, a 250 for a man is probably too small. For a woman, depending on the size of the woman, maybe a good starter bike. A teenager or something like that, okay. But for a man, I'd look at a cruiser style 500 to 650 cc, something that the bike is still capable of scaring the shit out of them, because when a bike scares the shit out of you, you have a tendency to respect it. When the bike can't scare
it humbles you.
Right. When the bike doesn't scare you, you get cocky, and that's when you get into trouble.
1200 you're down line is 1200cc.
1200cc.
So I
But
thought way too much. But
no, we did not. A 1200 Harley is not a 1200 sport bike, because
Yeah.
a 1000cc Hayabusa will rev to 13,000. Your 1200 Sportster will blow up at 8,000 without even, like, you'll never get the thing to 8,000. The rocker assembly, the valve train is not designed. I have actually parts and pieces here to run that thing to 700. But the rocker assembly, the valve assembly in a stock 1200 is not designed to run over maybe 5,500 RPM. So there's a massive amount of power difference there.
Yeah, and a lot of people need to realize that too. There's a big difference between sport bikes and the rev limiter they have as opposed to a cruiser.
Yeah, huge. It's incredibly different. All right.
Did we lose Justice, or?
We did. Justice is not necessarily a public figure. He's a guy, he helps me out, and I really appreciate him. Justice is a very good friend. Anytime I need a hand, that dude helps me out.
Oh, yeah, he's a great guy. November cannot come fast enough.
100.
We know what's going down in November.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All
right. So with that, ready to put primary on. Let me clean that up before I put it on.
So do you know most of these guys that are on here then?
Yeah, I know pretty much everybody who's on here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. A lot of us participate in the other men's group, 10%.
Yeah.
And
Is that Richard Cooper's?
Yeah. 10% group. You were the 1%.
Okay.
So, yeah. The 10%. Most of the guys in here were in the 10%.
Right.
Is the Vaseline on that side?
I don't see any.
that's what she said.
Gotta have Vaseline when you're putting together a motor or something like that.
That's what you call it.
Mm-hmm. Vaseline is actually the best assembly lube there is.
Really?
No, it's not here. I thought I still had it out here. I don't see it anywhere anyway. Shit. All right. Well,
So what's the difference between the 1% and the 2% group?
or the 10% group is kind of like the entry level, much lower price point, that sort of stuff.
Oh, okay, maybe we should
Yeah.
go into that.
So, all right. Well, we're gonna put that together.
Yeah, I don't like social media, so I just got off of that.
Yeah.
Well, do you watch any of Rich Cooper's
Oh, yeah.
content or
Yeah.
Rillo? Yeah. Okay. So you'll know about it. You know, Jaron Scott, Chris Moff. You know, Bentley admins on the 10%. If it's something you're interested in, man, I suggest go for it. You know,
Yeah.
I've only been in the group about 3 months now,
Mhm.
but it's kind of given me a more motivation to keep leveling up, meet some other the younger guys that are joined. Embrace Masculinity, of course, you know, join that too. You're already a part of that group. In my eyes, you know, it's something to look into because what we do is support each other, and we give advice. We give hard-nosed bullshit answers to questions that you might want to ask. So yeah, it's definitely something that I would suggest you look into.
Yeah, I've been on it for 2 years and I just haven't messaged really too many people. So I was just like, I'm not much of a social media guy. I'd rather meet somebody like how I am
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. Same here.
So I just canceled it last night, but I'm like, I got it at a low price point, so I could stay on there.
What did you cancel?
Pardon?
He was in
What
the
did-
one.
Yeah, I canceled the 1%. I was in the 1%.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I mean, the 10% is another good one too. I mean, me and Bentley have talked offline about getting more than every third Sunday something going. You know, of course, he's doing with the Embrace Masculinity,
Mhm.
and we're going to start getting more involved with like the meetups. Like, what was that 2 months ago, Bentley, when you were in Miami?
I'll get all this done in first year.
Sorry, what was that?
But I think 2 months ago they were at that Miami boat show, and
Yep.
you know, not many people showed up. But if we can start planning for more meetups and conventions
Oh, okay.
like that, you know, we were going to talk about it a little bit more last Sunday because it was the third Sunday of the month. But
So talk to me about because I mean, it's not we're on the public part here, but like your call that you do on Tuesday nights, which was last night, it's a private call for guys who are in the groups and the communities, which, like I say, is something I recommend to guys. I'm getting along on this one. I don't know. Maybe I wonder if I should stop this stream and restart it, or should I go to the private thing? But then I won't have the recording of this live. Actually putting it together. Mind you, I don't think I'm going to get it to the point to start it tonight like I was hoping. I'm close, but I'm not quite there.
well, you're in a zone right now. You're in a mechanic zone. I get that.
Yeah, I'm
You want to
just
get that. You want to get that thing running, get in the wind.
well, I can't get it in the wind. It's really shitty out here right now, but it's getting close.
Well, I live in North Carolina, U.S., so I mean, we don't get that problem. I think the lowest we got was 42 this year.
Yeah, you can kiss my ass.
Well, what's funny is my dad's from Florida and he rides, and if it's below 50, he's like, "Fuck no, man! I ain't even going outside, much less riding the bike."
Hell, it was below 30 this morning, and I went for a 5-kilometer run. But hell,
Do all Canadians aspire to retire in Florida? I mean, you have to after that kind of stuff. I lived in northern or central Pennsylvania for 3 years, and they bragged about the snow they got. But I remember I had an expedition at the time, and it had the thermometer, and it said -8. And I'm just like, you know, why would anybody choose to live here? Because that's not all 4 seasons. You know, that's only the shitty seasons and 3 weeks of spring.
I've done well, as a few people know, maybe not everybody here. Like I used to drive truck. I'm one of the guys that I've never let them actually film me, but I've been in the background and stuff. I've done several seasons of ice road on the ice roads, not on the TV show, but the actual job.
Yeah.
And it's like 50 below up there all the time. And you're there for like 6 weeks at 50 below.
I couldn't
No,
imagine.
I'm not kidding. I'm dead serious. That's the actual.
Oh, no, I know. I believe you.
You know, we got like 40 kilometers or 50 kilometers in there. So
Yeah. It's depending which road, which lake you're on. It's.
you never turn off your truck.
Nope. The only time you shut the truck off is when you change oil.
Yeah.
You shut the truck off long enough to dump the oil, put new oil in, and that's it. Other than that, she runs.
Yeah, that's your generator. You know.
Oh, not even the generator, man. Not even the generator. You don't shut it off and run the generator at that temperature because your engine will not start back up. It will cool down that much that the generator cannot keep the engine warm enough to start. That's a fact.
Well, it's facts like that that everybody should realize. That's why you earn the type of money you earn. You know.
Yeah, it was.
Here in America, the only way you can make money is doctor or lawyer. You know, a doctor, 20 years in, he gets sued, he loses everything.
Yeah.
Lawyer never makes it past a prosecutor that makes $75,000 a year. You know.
Yeah, no, but mind you, what I did up there was very specialized. That's why I would never let them film me, and I was never actually on the show as a featured part because it wouldn't let them see what we were doing because we didn't want anybody to know because we didn't want people to be able to come up and try to take our job and what we were doing. Because,
Capitalize on it with their own.
yeah, and I will never publicly discuss the rates that I was getting because, quite frankly, it would just automatically create too much competition. People would literally be scrambling all over themselves to try and get up there and get it.
Yeah.
Because it's that good. All right, let's put spec on that. That is primary. Back to the manual. See what happens when you read the instructions. You do it right instead of breaking the bearing apart like I did on the in our primary. But hey, we solved the problem. We just extended it, so that should have been done. This should have been all back together. But that's part of the fun. I'm not entirely sure what part of that was fun, but that's part of the fun. Primary chain case housing 2007-9 installation confirmed. Yeah. I know all this stuff is good. I don't have to look at that. Blah blah blah. Gaskets done.
Your dads in Canada must be a lot better than our dads here in America.
What?
Because when you turn 16 and you start breaking your car because you're driving it too hard, there's no looking at the manual. The dad knows how to do everything. You're supposed to hold the flashlight and you get yelled and cussed at the whole time because you're not doing it and they have to do it. So that must be a lot better advantage y'all have up there. You know.
All right. Well, that is not great. 26, 28 foot pounds. In 3 stages.
You plan on having an after show, Bentley, or?
Well, I was going to, but I kind of, like I said, I'm kind of in the zone, kind of wanted to get this done. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should we go to the after show and finish this up there? I'm not going to get this thing started tonight. I can start it tomorrow night. What are your thoughts? What are people's thoughts? Drop it in the comment. Drop it in the comment. William's asking what's November. There's a group of us going down to Dallas for an event. We don't have any extra tickets. Yes. Oh, by the way, there you go. If anybody happens to be in Calgary in, what is that? Not quite 2 weeks, just under 2 weeks. There's a few of us who are getting together there. So let us know if you happen to be in the area. We're having a bit of a get together, and there's going to be some, I can't even mention it here, some very interesting things are going to take place while we're there. And that's what it's going to do is remain private. We can't say that publicly. And it's going to be fun. So anyhow. Anything else? Start the after show. Done. Okay, let me clean the hands here. Very clean. Clean my fingers so I can touch the computer because right now these are way too damn greasy. Touch that. All right, so with that, we're shutting down. We're going to run over to the after show and have fun. All right. I don't know if it's even still running. I have no idea if anybody can even hear me. Switch cameras to that one. Audio. Where is it? Mic is on the wrong one. To that. Default to that. So I don't know if anybody can hear me or if I got completely disconnected. But anyway, we're shutting down now. We're going to the after show. I'm on the other side, so you can't actually see me. Blah, blah, blah. Is it still running? Oh, look at that. Time is still running. So anyhow, for those of you who are members of my community, do me a favor, head over to the after show. For those that aren't, do me a favor and join. You can find me on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, blah, blah, blah. The Aftercast, _Aftercast. I'm not hard to find. So do me that, hit me up, send me a message. I think everybody here is probably already a member anyways. So with that, going to call her a night. I'm going to come back on live tomorrow night. We're going to finish this up and we're going to actually start this thing tomorrow night. It is that close. I guarantee you it will start tomorrow night, or it will start or blow up tomorrow night is actually what I'm talking about. Yeah. So, like I say, I'm that close. I'm not going to actually finish it. Started tonight. Unfortunately, ran into a problem I didn't expect. Sorry. Apologies. I'm coming back on tomorrow. This is nothing at this point. This is a quick do. So literally tomorrow night, she's going to start or she's going to blow up. Those are the only two options. One of the two is going to happen and we're going to do it. So tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern, we're going live and we're going to run it. We're going to blow it up. Is the plan. And that's what it is. So do me a favor, smash the like button, subscribe. Maybe see you tomorrow or should see you tomorrow. All that sort of stuff. If you're a member of the community, we're heading to the after show. So catch you later. Have fun. Blah, blah, blah.